Welcome everybody. This is Margret-Anne with Sainte-Genevieve de Paris, the Sainte-Genevieve of Paris YouTube channel. And I've been guided for about 3 weeks to do a special message to Divine Feminine regarding staying in your power and how to practically and spiritually cope and deal in positive ways. This is for those Divine Feminine who are in separation from their masculine twin. So how to deal with that in a positive way that allows you, the Divine Feminine, to still be in her power and be in your light and your highest love, but not feeling guilty or responsible that you have to take care of the Divine Masculine. So Jesus has been coming strong in on this for many weeks, and the spiritual team here very persistent that I'd make this video. So here it is. So the old pattern, the big message is the Jesus card, which is open your heart to love. And in this card, the message here that is coming through and guided from him for this card specifically is to open your heart to the love of yourself. Okay, and as we do that, we automatically affect others. So not just our twin, but everybody around you, whether they're physically near you or anywhere in the world. So our vibration, our light, when we are in love and peace and balance and freedom and joy, extends out to everybody. This is a fact. So how can the Divine Feminine, who are many of them very frustrated, some still sad and angry and confused about why, after all this time and even after receiving messages on the 5D level from their Divine Masculine, that they were ready to move forward and come back into reunion, or to at least come forward on a physical plane with some message, why they have not come forward. So the real problem here is that a lot of Divine Feminine are really feeling disheartened, upset, and feel that they don't know how to move forward or what to do. So these messages are for you. One of the big messages that's come up many times in the past couple months, especially the past month with other YouTube readers and channels, is this, whether it's expressed or actually in an underlying intention or tone, that many of them have implied or said that the Divine Feminine needs to be patient, needs to help the masculine, needs to, you name it, make the list. That is actually not helpful for the Divine Feminine. For those of you that this message is for, who have really been on this path a while and have stepped into your balanced Divine Feminine and really are a place of love and light, and have really come into your spiritual knowing and awareness, many of the messages on YouTube are very disempowering. And this is not, I repeat, not what Jesus wants you to hear. So, and it's maybe just misinterpreted. So there are some suggestions about how to shift this. So the old pattern for women and feminine is to be loyal to the needs of others, especially romantic partners, family, and putting other people, especially men, in front of ourselves. This is the past. So Jesus keeps saying, this is the past. Whether it's a past life issue, which it most likely is for many of us, but it's the past now. On this day, when you're watching this, that is past. So in this year, in this day, that is the past. So keep it in the past. Many people in 2016 let go of old loyalties to people or patterns that didn't serve them. One of the patterns that it's now time to let go of is this idea that you as the Divine Feminine are fully responsible or mostly responsible for the awakening and the upliftment and everything else good in the Divine Masculine's life. This is an old paradigm. For thousands of years, women, whether they are lovers, partners, mothers, wives, sisters, nieces, aunts, uncles, have put themselves in a position of being responsible for uplifting men, for making, their husband the CEO and doing all the behind the scenes stuff, for being the person that took care of everything in the household, etc., etc. You all know this story and this old paradigm, and it is old. In order for us as Divine Feminine and you as a being of light and love and joy and creative expression on earth in a balanced way to really shine and be in your power, this idea needs to shift, that you need to put yourself second and that you are responsible directly for one other person's growth. That is also an old paradigm. Whatever we do, we affect everybody. So this is a spiritual law. It is not meant to make you feel guilty. It just means that your energy vibrates out around you, even people that aren't near you across the world. So positive things that you do for yourself positively affect your twin, just like they positively affect other people around the world. So it is not that you're doing things just to help your twin and take care of him, where I'm talking about masculine energies, but you're doing it for yourself. This is the new paradigm, that you have been born to this divine destiny to be this empowered Divine Feminine being of light, and to actually opening your heart to love, Jesus is saying, is opening your heart to the highest love available that you can, with support from your divine team and angels and guides, that you can be in the highest way feeling this amazing love for yourself and put your growth and your joy and your peace as the first priority always. Of course, we don't ever do anything directly to hurt anybody else, but that opening your heart to love means loving yourself, honoring yourself. And what's happened with a lot of Divine Feminine, especially in the past month or two, is that they feel that they've been let down, and that they don't know how to move forward and don't know how to be loving and be kind to their Divine Masculine on an energetic level, 5D level, while also being happy themselves about their situation, and the situation that we are talking about today is those in separation, Divine Feminine separation. So the new paradigm is, right now and in the future, is number one, being loyal to love of your soul and of your higher self. I'm going to repeat that. The new paradigm, the focus now that Jesus is talking about here, opening your heart to love, is being loyal to love itself, and to love of your soul and of your higher self. Your connection to Source, to God, to the Divine Spirit is what is truly important. This is how you are fed constantly. This is your center. This keeps you strong and happy and fulfilled. This is not selfish. This is divine self-care. You, Divine Feminine, as a vessel of the divine on earth, you are the hands of God. Many of you are also full of the golden light of Christ consciousness. That's all part of it. So keep this part of you, your divine light, protect protect your treasure, is what Jesus is saying. Protect your treasure. Add self-love as the number one thing on your list to focus on and do. Be true to your dreams and your highest happiness. So part of this is shifting into right now, what do you need to do to stay happy when you are fully aware of the physical reality. The physical reality that we're talking about here is that you have a high purpose, you are awakened and on a divine path, helping people, whether it's in a big way or small way, but helping people and helping the world with your light. And you are still in separation. You know that if your divine masculine had communicated with you and or was physically present and on board, that you could do a different, more expansive type of work, and even more excitingly, it would bring you this great joy and bliss that you have experienced in the past when the two of you are physically connected, whether it's talking or near each other physically in presence. So there is so much to be gained from this, and yet we must accept the reality. So this is what Jesus is talking about. Accept the reality, the physical reality. Accept that, and then figure out ways how you can practically move forward and be in joy. Focus on yourself in a positive way, in love and light, so that you still are maintaining that high level of love and light for yourself. And one way to do this, we already talked about this, is to let go and eradicate this idea that you are responsible as an individual for uplifting your twin. You are number one responsible to yourself and to your divine connection. That is your number one responsibility. And from that, everything else flows. So let go of this idea that you're taking care of him, because that is an old paradigm which we must get rid of. So know your value. Jesus is always also talking about knowing your value. Know what you bring. And you know what you bring. You know that you are this amazing, amazing treasure which could not be replaced by anybody. And that anybody that you grace with their presence is such, it's such a benefit to them. And that you know that your divine counterpart is similarly blessed if and when he chooses to move forward. So right now, Jesus is talking about self-love, self-care, and self-value. Now it's more crucial than ever to polish your own crystal so that you can be a beacon of light for yourself, and so that your light will not only shed light and love and light onto your path and your life and your every moment, but also on the path of others. Just by you being you. You don't have to do anything. You just focus on polishing your light, shining your light, being happy, whatever that is for you. And you know, what do you do? What little things make you happy? What can you do right now, no matter what's going on in your life, to bring some more joy into your life? These are the things to focus on. So, he's also talking about remembering divine feminine, to honor yourself and do not compromise your highest values. And one of the values that many of you have been working on is stepping into your true divine feminine. That is a sovereign power. It's a sovereign entity, that you are this balanced light, this balanced being that knows how to live on the earth, but also in the spiritual or heaven space. So you are connecting and balance heaven and earth. So the call for us is to be like a unicorn, to be free and joyful and creative. So one of the other things that Jesus is talking about is that right now, those of you that are disheartened, angry, sad, and rightly so, because you have believed because there's a lot of talk of it on YouTube also. This has helped that belief that the divine masculine was going to show up at a certain time. He was going to be here. And for many, many, many divine feminines, that has not been the case, even though you have healed and done all this amazing work. So what Jesus is saying is, dear divine feminine, this is game day. This is the time to put your work into the highest use. Are you really clear and ready to stay centered in your well-earned, powerful center of balance, beauty, and grace? Do you really, really desire a life of that living and joy and bliss and balance and peace, no matter what is going on around you? This is the call. And we know that if we separate it out of the twin flame journey, but putting that back into the reality of your life, this is game day. This is the time to show up, and Jesus is here, and Mary and all the other guides and angels and whoever else you work with, Saint Germain, to help you be rock solid in the amazing and priceless gift that you are, and to choose to shine your light and to be in joy no matter what. All of your work, all of your growth, all of your clarity, all of your assertiveness, your self-love and self-value has led to this moment, dear one. This moment right now, when once again, on the highest level in spiritual connection, something has not gone the way you had hoped or planned, and you are not alone. There are many, many, many feeling the same way. So there are some suggestions for you right now. If you are in separation from your divine masculine, if you do not actually even know his true intentions, or there's been many months, or for many of you, many, many years of no communication, and you're feeling, or maybe you've already decided to move on, you're feeling that I'm done with this, I need to move on. The call that you're feeling is one of the deeper things under that is the call to be in your divine feminine power. So I'm here to help you. How can you be in your divine feminine power? This is the call right now, January 2017 especially, or whenever you're watching this. It always comes to you whenever you need it, to be in your true divine feminine power and light. So one way is to, when you feel out of control and lost, which many of the divine feminine do, that feel out of control, that, if he was here, the divine masculine had showed up, I would be moving forward, or we could be doing the mission together, or we could be doing whatever it is that is in your future together. But mostly that you together create a more powerful, higher vibration light for everybody to see. And that is just number one. And you know that. So how can you take your power back and feel like you have some control? We do live in the physical. We are angels on earth. We are in a physical body. And it's really important to not forget that on the twin flame journey. That there are tools, and this is a lot of what I've done for 20 years, is helping people take the highest level spiritual tools and live their life in a way that honors those tools and integrates them, but also being in the world, having a family, having responsibilities, and not just living apart, as a seeker sitting on a mountaintop meditating. So you get to choose, dear ones. You get to choose how this goes. You get to decide, what am I going to do now? What is my path forward? How can I move forward when he is not here, the divine masculine, when he hasn't communicated with me? So many of you may actually have played out two scenarios in your mind, in your heart, in your meditations. If you haven't, this is suggested for you to do that. Okay? So I'm going to pause a minute. So here are some practical tips and realities. 1, everyone has free will, even twin flames. And this we must accept on a very, very deep level. Everyone has free will. There is no guarantee that your divine counterpart, whether it's a masculine or feminine, is going to physically come back to you. While we would hope that is true, and that is the call, that is the clarion call that Jesus and the highest beings and all the high-level beings are calling for now. So if you're a divine masculine, please hear this. This is the call. Your soul, your heart is being called at the highest level to do whatever you can to move forward, to come into union, whether it's just connecting with your divine feminine, to move forward on your path as best you can and make this connection a physical reality, so that the mission and the work that you came to do, and the joy and the love and the freedom that you came to share together, which is in itself a huge mission, just being together will light up the world, literally. So if you're a divine masculine, that is the call. That is what you are being called to do. You, the divine masculine, that is what you're being called to do. It is very serious. It's very important. And yet you have free will. You don't, of course, have to do this if you don't want to. You will be miserable if you don't follow your inner callings, whatever those are. And yet it is, you have a choice. We all have a choice on earth. We are in the physical and we have free will. So everyone has free will, and the divine feminine must acknowledge that. The divine masculine, as we talked about, many of them have not communicated. So, and we've also talked about the fact that many of the divine feminine have lost their patience, and many of them have gone in different directions already. Very importantly, once again, do not blame yourself, divine feminine, and don't let anybody else blame you for your twins' lack of evolving, or whatever you want to call it. The last 2,000 years have been spent blaming women and torturing them and accusing them, persecuting them for problems and situations that have largely been created by masculine beings on earth and the patriarchy all over the world. So the call now is, how can you, dear divine feminine, be loving and still remain in your power and not feel responsible for the divine masculine? This is a misguided idea, and it does not support the rising divine feminine to believe that you are individually, as an individual, responsible for the upliftment and the awakening and everything else for your divine counterpart. Here are some tools to help you. Once again, the new paradigm is balanced power and giving between men and women, between the divine masculine and divine feminine. We are the blueprint of higher relationships, conscious relationships. So in order for it to be balanced, one partner cannot be responsible for the upliftment of the other. It needs to be equal. So what you can do right now, take stock of what is in your own physical reality, dear one. What is going on, and then honor your feelings about it. If you haven't already accepted the truth of the separation, or your anger or your sadness or your frustration about the separation and all the other things connected to it. Maybe you're waiting to have a family. Maybe you have this work that you really want to do together and you cannot do it without this person in the same way. You can't do it in the same way without your divine masculine or your counterpart. So let these truths come up, honor your feelings, and let them come up, these feelings. When you feel it, you can heal it. Okay? So this new paradigm of balanced power and giving is, how can you, who is still in separation, honor the call to be in true and highest good of yourself, with love as the highest part of you? And how to do that when you're in separation, the truth of being in separation and not knowing, because no one really knows, because the other person has free will. So not knowing if or when he may return, you must take back your power to your child divine, Jesus is saying. Dear Divine Feminine, I know there is not much teaching out there on this, but Jesus has been very persistent in bringing his message forward for the Divine Feminine twin flames who are in separation. Your divine team, including Jesus, wants you to know that you are supported, dear ones, and you are free of feeling guilty or responsible for any single person's spiritual development or growth, including your divine masculines. This is an old attitude, an old paradigm, and not of the highest divine will. You are here to be in freedom, and you are born to embody that freedom and joy and light. So what they're asking and recommending for you to do now is to, one, as we talked about, accept the reality of your separation or whatever you are frustrated about. 2, know that you are not responsible solely for another person's advancement, upliftment, etc. 3, and yet we are all connected. So if you shoot angry thoughts at your twin or at your brother or at someone at work, they feel it somehow. It gets out there. This is not to make you feel guilty. It's just a truth. But also never deny your feelings. So let them come up and then find a way to be in joy anyway. That healing of letting those subconscious feelings come up, that healing of letting them come up will bring you into your higher reflection of love. So 4, love yourself and be in a state of peace, dear one. Number 5, make choices and take actions that allow you to feel empowered and peaceful, dear Divine Feminine, no matter what is going on, even while you're in separation and you have no idea how long it will last. Once you accept this, fully accept the reality of the separation and whatever else is along with that, you will have more peace. This is part of being a true divine feminine force. It's accepting what is and then making choices to move forward and to be happy no matter what. Next step, design plans. As we talked about earlier, some of you have thought of 2 scenarios. How to move forward without him here, and then what your intentions are when the Divine Masculine arrives, if he does. Number 1, key to peace, is to accept the fact that he may not come, and you may not like to hear this, but this is standing in your power. It is fully accepting responsibility for your happiness, your joy, no matter what another person chooses to do, because we cannot control anyone else, even in a twin flame relationship. That's an old paradigm. We need to let it go. So design your plans. Create a life that you love. And if you haven't already created a life that you love, do it now. Work on that. If you have a life that you love, like many of us, add more joy to it. Make plans around that. Do what you can that makes you happy and makes you feel peaceful. And if possible, do some work in the world that helps others. It doesn't have to be for pay. It doesn't have to be a big platform. Do something that adds light to your soul and that sheds light on others' lives. And remember, Jesus is saying that you are a beloved child of the divine. Your essence is joy and freedom and peace, dear divine feminine. Do things that cultivate joy and freedom and peace today, whether it's being in nature, doing something creative, meditating, praying, enjoying time with friends or family. And make plans to move forward with your life, whatever you can do that will help you feel that you are empowered. And you are empowered. You have come so far. You have learned so much. You are not the person you were even 3 or 2 months ago, divine feminine. The past is past. A shower of abundance, that's the other card here. A shower of abundance, that's the card for the divine feminine. That is where you are. That is who you are. Focus on that. Be in that. Be in the light of that abundance. So choose your own freedom. Freedom from some of these old ideas, these old paradigms, even though you may have heard them from people that are twin flame channelers. This is the truth. Focus on your self-love, self-care, your own light. Move forward with your plans, dear one. And as you do this, Jesus is saying, when you accept fully that you are only responsible primarily for you and your own light and your growth, and not your twin flames and not another person's, anybody's. And when you choose to be happy now and make the best life you can right now, even if he's not in it and you don't know if he'll show up, your heart now, when you do this, opens wide with joy and love and happiness. And as your heart opens wide, as you are in your power and love and true connection and true empowerment, love floods in. And this lightening or enlightening on an even higher level than you were before of your heart will, dear one, bring light, more light and love and peace and joy to everyone around you, even your twin. But do not do it for him. Do it because your focus is you. Your focus is your divine purpose on earth, your divine light, your connection with the divine, your unfoldment, your light, your happiness. Choose to be happy no matter what. Sending you lots of love and many, many blessings. If you'd like to contact me, my email is in my information page. Lots of love. Take good care.